Aloha, good morning. Welcome to the garden. So I believe this is week 12 or 13 in the garden, and I do apologize if this video is a bit late this week. Thank you for bearing with me. Thank you for your patience. So I'm just going to do a quick tour around the garden. It's bright and early. It's around 7:20 in the morning. The birds are singing, beautiful, and so much has grown. Also, I've put things in their final positions, safe from the peppers and echinacea, but most of the rest of everything else is in its final position. So let me just take you around before I get ready and go to work. So I'm going to start at the very beginning, right by the door. So we've got the strawberries here, and they are ripening again. So the next, or the second flush of flowers gave us more fruits, and they are now ripening. After the heat wave, we do have more coming on this side, but I'm very happy with that, and the size is still looking great. They're not as misshapen as I expected due to the lack of pollination. It seems a lot of people are having the same issue, but these look very good, and this one looks exceptionally tasty. Looks very ripe as well. I might take that before I go. Same here, we've got some babies coming, more runners, which is so good. And oh, that's a weed. Let me just pull that out right now. And the smaller plants are also growing beautifully. I'll do the herbs and then I'll take us over to the figs and then round. So actually, let me show you what the garden looks like. So this is what I've done in the past week. Things have been planted in their final positions, like I said, except from that patch over there of courgettes and squash. They might be moved. Everything else looks almost the same, but this patch of kale has gone in, and look how well established they've become. Even the spinach is growing so big, which I love. The beetroot still looks the same, but a lot else has changed in the garden, so let's continue. The herbs haven't moved here for now, another temporary solution, but I had to move them away from the kale. So the sage is doing great, it's bounced back after the heat wave. The oregano, it looks like it's trying to bolt. I have cut it back so many times, and it is getting bushier at the bottom, but it does look like it's getting ready to bolt, which is fine by me. The thyme looks amazing, and the rosemary as well looks great. So these two planters, oh, I was going to see it already. I need to replant this. This is the marjoram, and look, just trying to see. It's my first time growing it, so I don't know how it behaves, but I might need to replant that soon so that I get more herbs as opposed to the seeds. We'll see. So this is the osteospermum. So 2 osteospermums that hubby gifted me. They've been repotted into these round baskets. Got 2 poached egg plants in each. Look at that flower, so pretty. That egg yolk in the center. And look how symmetrical those leaves are. Oh my goodness, so beautiful. God's handiwork is so beautiful. The osteospermums look like they're happy. There's new growth there in the center, so I'm thrilled about that. And there's even more flowers coming up. So this is a different variety. This is the Bestie Dynamic Bicolor. This is the blue steel. So I've got them in both those pots. They're looking so good for now. Moving on to the dianthus. It's still in this pot. I will find a bigger pot for it and then move it on so that it can also grow big and beautiful. But for now, it's still in this pot. I have been deadheading throughout so that more blooms will come, but the best thing for it will be to move it to a bigger pot, which I will do. The figs are looking great. They did have a bit of a dry stint due to the heat, but they look like they've bounced back now, and they're really ready for bigger pots. So hopefully by the end of the season, I'll be able to give them bigger pots or give them away to people that have bigger gardens that can actually grow them on. And here we have our peppers. Looks like we've lost another of, oh, you know, maybe we haven't. I'll leave it to see. I'll leave it and see even. So we've got some of the bell peppers. They're getting ready for bigger pots. And we do have some pots for them, so I'm not so stressed about that, but we do need some compost. That's what we need next. And got the two blue black pearls, sorry. They're looking good as well. And then the rest of the echinacea. This one might not make it. This one perhaps, but the rest look good. 6 echinacea plants. I'm happy with that. Moving on to our mini pepper section right there. So these peppers were overwintered and look at them, looking amazing. Another one that was overwintered, and we even have a bell pepper. Look at how big and beautiful. Oh, both are actually. That's what I mean. The past few days everything is just grown. So this was here last week, however this one is this week's. So I'm just waiting for them to get a little bit bigger. The plant is producing more flowers and setting more fruits, so we will have a lot of peppers this season. You can see some has already been pollinated at the back there. I'm very excited for those. I have fertilized these again with another round of farmyard manure. And what I do is I usually just top dress it. So I've put the farmyard manure on top, and then when it rains, so when I water, it just seeps down into the soil. That's how I found it works best for me, because it's easy. I don't have to keep coming back and fertilizing all the time. And talking about blooms, look at how full and abundant these blooms are. So all the white flowers you see are going to be cayenne peppers. And then the ones that are a bit darker have been pollinated, as you can tell. In there, there's a little pepper come in. And all these tiny, tiny little buds, like here, are going to turn into more flowers. So this plant, I predict, is going to get very big, beautiful. I will also gift it to one of my friends, or I'll give it to one of my friends later on in the season, because she's got a conservatory, and I said to her that you just need to put it in the conservatory in the winter, water it, and then the next year they'll just pull it out into the garden, and then they'll just keep having peppers. How amazing is that? So very, 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 very little work actually. You just cut back the branches, and then the next year just gets bigger and bigger and bigger. We will change the pot as well, give it a deeper pot so that it's got more room to grow, and voila, that's all she needs to do. I'm very, very thrilled to see that experiment going on, because this growth is amazing. Moving on to our heritage tomato. Look at this, growing big and strong. I did put that trellising idea behind it. So basically just 3 bamboo poles or bamboo canes at the back there in the soil, and then I've put some wire netting in between them so that I can, as you can tell there, just attach the tomato as it's getting bigger. And this is going to be like a beefsteak variety. We already have some fruits or some flowers that have been pollinated just in the back there. This one also looks like it's been pollinated. Tomatoes get pollinated by the wind, so they don't necessarily need bees or anything, but if it's shaking, if it's windy, they will get pollinated. In fact, let me just shake it a little bit just to pollinate the plants. So I'm just basically shaking the pollen down into the ovary or the ovum of the plants. Correct me in the comments, but that's how I've learned that it works. But yeah, that is what you basically do. And then they will bring out beautiful tomatoes. And it looks like we have a lot on this plant, so I need to keep up with my feeding. I have put some manure as well, so it is going to grow beautifully for us, but I'll still feed it every 2 weeks with the tomato food. I've got 2 opal basils here. I hope this one is okay because I have put the pepper here. However, this might be good because it could protect it from the heat of the middle of the day, which could in turn stop it from bolting. So I think that'll be fine. I don't know what that is. Oh, it's a leaf. Is it a leaf? It's a leaf. Let me just remove that. I don't want any pests or disease. So yeah, this is the ananas heritage tomato. So here we have our tomatoes and aubergines and basil and poached eggplants. So all those seedlings that were just sitting aside waiting for me to repot them, here is where they are. So, oh, it's a bit of rain. So we've got basil, tomato, basil, tomato, basil. Then poached eggplants, basil, aubergine, basil, basil. So this is what they're looking like. They have taken to the soil. I mean, these 2 have grown inches, honestly, over the past like 3 days. They have just taken off because they were ready to really grow, and they were pot bound as well. The basil, as you can tell from that middle leaf there, is also establishing its roots nicely. The spread of this poached eggplant I love because once the aubergine gets big enough, it will just cover the bottom, as will the basil. Most of the other planters have exactly the same plants in them, except for these in the middle, these 4 at the front. So I'll show you those as well. So this is the calendula. It's the only difference in some of the pots are the calendula. These look like the seeds are ready to dry, and I'll save these seeds for the future as well. This aubergine is the biggest one, so it has grown beautifully, and over the next week or so this will shoot off. You'll see a huge difference in the aubergines and tomatoes because the sun is coming back out. They've been well fed, the compost is fresh, and once they shoot up, I'll then put some manure so there'll be more food for them to grow with as well. So very, very thrilled with that. The tomatoes have come on, so nice. The basil, so good. You know, it used to have those yellow leaves at the bottom, but after a few days of being in these planters, they've just greened right up. Poached eggplants is also producing flowers. Even though this is tiny, the flowers come in, and this is what their flowers look like. How gorgeous! So pretty. So pretty. I learnt about these flowers from Grow Veg on YouTube, and he's always, I've got Ben. He's always talking about poached eggplants, and I finally grew them from seed, and I understand what he means. They are looking so quaint, and it's a tiny plant. It's only the size of like my palm, but it has all these gorgeous flowers. So beautiful. This is the calendula, and it's very medicinal. So my plan is I want to find what I can do with them. Most likely going to be salves, and try and make some salves with the flowers. You can also dry the flowers for tea, but I'll most likely try salves because I've got enough tea. I don't need any more herbal teas. Let's go. So aubergine yet again, tomatoes, poached eggplants, and basil. Same here, same configuration. Tomatoes, basil, mini aubergine. This is the smallest aubergine, but still doing fantastically well. Very happy about the fact that I got them in, because this is the week where they'll really shoot off. It's only the first week of July, So they have all of July, they have August and September as well to just be planted, and that's enough time. Like 3 months is enough time for all these heat loving plants to truly thrive, because last year we had October as well for them to grow, and I just pulled them out because it was getting not too cold, but it just wasn't hot enough by first week of October. So they do have time to grow, they do have time to thrive, and I'm going to get lots and lots of harvest from them. I know that for sure. The aubergines, I'm sure they're going to grow as well, but I hope they bloom and set fruit maybe first week of August, second week of August, just so they have enough time to grow big for me. And I have so many plants, so I know they'll be pollinated with each other as well. Before I continue, I just need to show you the lemon pepper. I forgot about this when I was here, but this is the pepper plants that my husband brought for me from work. It's a chili pepper, it's a lemon plant, lemon chili pepper, and it was like a baby, and it had that long sheet. I don't know if you remember it from a previous video, but look at it now. It is taken off, and this is going to grow. Maybe like it's going to get big. I know it is, because that's the size of those, and these ones are still here, and they will all get big. I know it doesn't look like it, but these will produce peppers this year. Trust me on that. They'll produce. It still looks small, but they will still produce, because they're going into compost this week, and they are already in compost. So this is the size pot I'm going to put the other peppers in. Then I'm going to line them at the front here, and then yeah, get them to keep growing. But before I move on to anything else, let me just finish off with the cucumbers as well. As you can tell, they have grown so much. I've harvested some cucumbers. I will do a taste test as well. This looks like mildew. Oh wow, this is a lot of mildew. You see all the white spots in. That's not good. That is not good. I need to move it from here. Wow, there's lots of mildew because of the rain. So I need to come back in and just pull the worst ones for now. So it's a fungal disease. It affects, as you can tell, cucurbits, squash plants, and it might just be the rain. And also, oh, look at this plant here. This plant needs to go then, because it's actually exacerbating the mildew. The rest of the leaves look healthy though, and I do need to pull those cucumber plants and train them up the vine, well, up the trellis, because otherwise the bees might not get to see the flowers, and we might not get as many cucumbers from them. So I will come back later on and train them up the vine. But we have had cucumbers. I will try one on camera for you. We've already tried one. It's so delicious. They've got a really thin skin with a good crunch and very juicy cucumber inside. Look, the spiders have already started making their way into the garden. We did harvest one of these as well. There's a French heirloom, Cornichon de Paris. Yes, I remember the name. And it is abundant. As you can tell, I've already harvested one big one off the plant. I'll show you that as well. But yeah, this is abundant. So that's the cucumber corner. Excited for that. Moving on to the squash plants. So they have started to grow, and look at the squash there. I can't see any male flowers. That's the only thing. Yeah, so the squash there, I do really need to move these to the final positions. As you can tell, they're starting to trail, and on top of that, they're getting all the water. You know, when it rains, all the dirt will go down here, then it's affecting the plants. I don't want to see that. And we've got the other squash at the back as well. And that's a male flower. No, I think it's female. So I'm just waiting for them to really bush out and grow, because I've realized that the male flowers and the female flowers have not been coming at the same time. So, pardon, sorry about that. So they've not really been setting fruit at the same time. Well, the female flowers have been opening, but there's no fruit set because the male flowers are not there to pollinate, for pollination even. So yeah, so they've really been a bit shaky, but that's fine. There's still time. Like I said, it's only the first week of July, and this is when the weather has been the most stable this year. So I have faith and hope that they will continue to grow. Moving on to our courgettes that are doing so well. I had to come and hand pollinate a couple of these because I just had lots of courgettes that weren't being pollinated properly. Hold on, I can see some mega mildew here, so I'm just going to pull them off because we don't need that. Oh, I'm sorry. I will move all of those later. Let me just get this for the back. So yeah, I did come and hand pollinate like I said, and that's the fruit of my labor. We have one courgette, and I think a second one is coming just there. We have a couple more here. The ones that look green all the way through, I believe, are the ones that are fully pollinated. Like this one didn't make it, so the plant just ejected it basically. I can still use it to cook, but I can't at the moment, so I'm just going to leave it, and it's been dropped on the soil, so I'm just going to leave it for now. There'll be more of those. The ones that I'm not able to pollinate, they will just come and then fall off. I can use it in omelets and things like that, so not too worried. Before I move on to the currants, let me have a look at the strawberries. So Mama is still producing. Unfortunately though, the runners might not make it because I didn't get to them in time, but it's okay. We have many more, should I say, coming from those plants there, so that's fine. And berries. Berries. So many berries, so I'm still happy about that. The parsley needs to be transplanted, but I'm going to put them next to the kale. So they're still in here for now. You know, they're yellowing, so I feel like they are losing nutrients, but that's fine. Like I said, they're going next to the kale, so I'll do that sometime this week. Not too worried at all. The buddleia flowers are coming out. Look at them. So this is the alba, so it produces white flowers all around. And once I move I might even move it to the front yard actually, but I'll have all of these out from here, perhaps in the front yard, and then the buddleia will perhaps be in the front yard as well. That's my decision now. I'll move it, and then I'll keep it there, and I'll put the hosta next to it. Yes, plans. So these will go. There'll be more space for the buddleia to bloom and be beautiful in that corner. The rhubarb, I rinsed it down the other day. I feel like I can harvest these larger. Oh yeah, I can. It's even breaking already. I'll harvest these larger stalks, and that'll be the last of the harvest for this year. Then I'll leave the roots to just get bigger and beautiful for next year. The current section is a bit of a shambles. Why? The raspberries that grew too tall, because I didn't cover them with the netting. We had a bird come in here and just try and chopping in like African slang is like eat. They just wanted to come and eat. They pecked at the ripe raspberries, which I'm not too mad at. It's fine because there's lots more coming. However, what they did was they went in and bent these canes. So these canes are bent. They might even break. Yeah, this one is gone. You can tell it's dead because all the leaves are just drooping. So yeah, that's what happened. These ones are a little bit more protected because the netting is just kind of falling over them, which I probably leave like that because all the currants at the back are now gone. So I do need to come back in and trim, sorry, not currants, berries. Trim all these leaves. I will return them to the soil just so that they feed the soil below. However, they just need to be pruned back, and then these new growths need to be trained onto the trellises. The blackberries, however, have bloomed and they're setting fruit for the season. If you have a look right there. And the wild ones in the back have also done the same. Got a little bit of aphid situation going on there, but it'll be fine. Yeah. Everything looks done. A little bit more growth actually with the loganberries, which is cute. Oh, this one is a bit dried up. It's all right. At least I've got 2 more coming, and then the leaves will go, like I said, back on the soil as they've already started to do, and break down and enrich the soil for next year. Before I go into the back, I'm not able to pull back this netting, so I don't have time right now, but let me do a sneak peek. So look at the hosta, the flowers are coming out, and I will bring it out from under the shade just so I can admire them. You've got all that red in the back with the red currants. I will be harvesting them this week as well, because most of them have nearly ripened, and because of the netting, no bird has got to them. Same with the black currants, you can just see them just here, they're ripening off. This netting is it's a savior. I was going to say a lifesaver, but it's not really. Jesus is my only savior, but this has saved me from the birds munching and eating and decimating the plants basically. So all the currants are still there. They're able to ripen freely without any attack. They'll be so juicy and lovely. And when I do harvest them, I will do a full video so you can see what's underneath the netting. So please don't worry at this moment. I will show you everything in the next tour, which will be in a few days time anyway, because this one was a bit late out. So you'll see everything. Moving on though to the blueberries. Let me just show you. Lots of blueberries. Some are even ripening, that darker blue there. They're ripening. I'm so excited to try them. So excited. So the blueberries are doing well. Got the broccoli down here. You can really tell they've grown, can't you? So all the ones in here I'm going to split and put in their individual pots now that the tomatoes have a place and the aubergines have their place. These were the 3. What's that? Oh, it's probably just like, where's that? Okay, don't know what that is, but I've mashed it anyway. So these, like I said, have their place. There was the 3 that were next to the seedlings, and look at how much they've grown just by being in their own pots with fresh compost. So much growth already. This are the 2 spinach. They've also grown so much, and I've moved them all under here because this netting is fabulous. I've seen lots of white butterflies around, but none of them, not that I can tell anyway, have been able to penetrate into the kale. I can't see anything being munched. I can't see any caterpillars. I can't see anything. It looks so fresh. And we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 kale there, 18 in total if you count those, and then the 2 spinach, then the broccoli. So we have a huge greens situation, which I love, because my goal at the start of the year was to grow more greens. That's exactly what I've achieved, and I'm happy about that. The kale, let me just do a sneak peek through here. Look how good they're looking. Big and strong, yes. I will start harvesting from them soon. And it's all down to this netting. Oh, yep, that's fine. And parsley grow really well with kale, so my goal is this week when I come out here, all the parsley, well most of them, I'm going to plant per pot, so maybe like 2 per pot, because parsley really stays quite low. So if I plant 2 per pot, it'll just grow at the bottom of the kale. I'll be able to maximize my harvest as well, and then I can use the parsley to deter any pest from the kale because of the scent of the parsley. They call it companion planting. So I'll have double the harvest and also be maximizing my crop protection, maximizing my yield, because not a lot of the kale will be attacked by pests. And yeah, it just works basically. Double, double, double. Double, double, double. Okay, double. Okay, let's carry on. I'm going to have to whiz past this section and then do the back and the front because I'm running out of time. I've got like 10 minutes. All my singing and my dancing can wait till later. So this beetroot, as you can tell, needs feeding. There's some weed situation going on as well. So what I might do is, I've got bigger pots, like tall, oh no, that means more compost. I need to find a way to try and get them to get bigger, because I think they're not growing as big because they don't have the room to. So I'll either put them in these pots, like split them apart one more time and put them in these pots, or leave them as they are and see what happens, because I don't think they're going to have space to get really bulbous, but that's fine. We'll see what happens. We've got more beetroot here though, all popping up, which is amazing. And we've got the kohlrabi, some here, couple there. The rest didn't make it, so the ones that didn't make it, I'll probably transplant this beetroot into there for it to just bulb up a little bit individually, because this one looks really, really good. And this was like a stray plant, and it was planted like a month or 2 after those ones, and it's looking really good already. So I'll do that for my hubby. And last but not least, the impatiens. So these need to go into a pot with the dianthus. So I will be doing that, and I'm going to use the rest to create a hanging basket for my friend. So that's on the list of to-dos as well. But all will be done this week. One last spin around before I go outside to complete the tour. Do 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 do. Bam 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 ba-dum ba-dum bam bam bam. Let's go. I'm loving these bright mornings, bright and early mornings. And what I'm gonna do when I go to work is relax. So I'm going to get there a bit early. So get there early, relax, have a nice coffee, and just get ready for my day. So I'm super excited about that. But before I do that, let me show you the back, and then on my way out I'll show you the front. Let's go. First thing I've already noticed, the apple tree has fallen again. I'm sorry, I'm so sorry. But look at the apples though, crab apples should I say. It's fallen again. It needs a bigger pot. That's why it keeps falling. It needs a bigger pot. Oh, look at that moth. But beautiful crab apples coming on. I will need to find a solution for this because it's completely like, it's leaning over basically. And I feel like it's going to fall again. But I'll leave it for now because the tree seems sturdy. There are lots of crab apples still on there. We have lost a lot of leafage though, but no branches have broken, which is great. I will find a solution for it though sometime this week, because we can't have it falling all the time. Moving on to the pears, they are looking so lush, big. Oh, they are growing. So good. And the pear tree itself is also growing, which I absolutely love. So happy about that. So happy. The cherry is also looking so good. I think what I'm going to do is prune the life out of this cherry. Perhaps like cut down the bottom branches and just make it grow on the top, just so the plant has enough nutrition to boost to all the cherries that it produces, because last year it was crazy. I mean, earlier this year it was crazy, lots of blooms, but we only have one cherry still standing strong at the back there. So yeah, it doesn't, I think it needs a good prune. The apple tree is looking great, gorgeous lush leaves, new growth, so I know by next year this tree will be ready to produce lots of apples again. The fig tree, the fig plant is also growing, looking really good, still looking healthy with all the rains. No figlets, nothing, but it's okay. I need to come back and have a thorough look at the grapes because it does need pruning back, and I feel like they might have been pollinated, I'm not sure, but I do need to come and sort out this grape situation because it's getting out of hand. They have grown so big and I feel like I need to come back and prune them heavily. So I will definitely be doing that. Oh, just been stung by a stinging nettle. Let's come and cut that later. But Jenny is in the midst of all of this. She is here. She is looking strong and healthy and beautiful and full. Love that. New growth there as well. But yeah, the grapes do need another prune. Yeah, another prune, because they are leaning forward, so they're getting a bit heavy, too big for the boots. And the leaves I can remove. I've got some domades from last year, so I don't know what else to do with them. I might just cut them, and then if they're not too bitter, we can use them for like wrapping meats and having like a barbecue sort of thing, but I'll see. I might be able to preserve them as kimchi. That's another shout. Yeah, this is the back garden, guys. The back garden. I'll quickly show you the gooseberries before I go. So they are fully gooseberry-less, and they're just twigs now at this point, but we do still have some green growth, so the plant isn't dead. It just struggled earlier on the year. So yeah, that's what it's looking like. The blackberries have been pollinated, so we should get some berries soon. And the compost tea is still there, so I'll probably use that this week. I will still film it though. And this tree, bless it, broken and bruised, but hopefully one of my neighbors said they're going to cut it down for us, so that'll be amazing. Going back in now. Definitely need to go back in, get myself ready, and go to work. There's no more time for garden tours. This is the joy of an urban gardener. I'm not a full-time gardener, I'm a part-time hobby gardener. I love what I do, but work happens. Butterfly. Still need to work, so that's what I'm gonna go and do. I'll see you at the front, and I'll sign off at the front as well. So one last look at the growth. So this area has the biggest change. I'll insert clips of what I did during the week. This is the biggest change. As you can tell, I've brushed everything back. I do need to still come back and scrape the moss. However, all the horsetail has been removed. These smaller shoots are from the past few days where it grew back. But yeah, everything has been arranged and looks not like a jungle. It looks really good. So this is what about an hour in the morning can get you. Nice clean slates for the rest of the year. And most of the weeds have been pulled out by their roots, so it should last until next year, hopefully. But now it will just be a bit of maintenance, so any other weeds that I see, I'll just pull, like these ones. they are trees, so they actually need to be cut because they're too ingrained in there to just pull. So yeah, this is what we're looking like. So lovely. Thank you so much for joining me today, guys. Have a blessed rest of your week, and I'll see you shortly on Saturday. Take care. Thank you. Bye. Bye. Take care.